Hey guys, it's Run That Cube, and I wanted to talk today about running. Last time I showed you a quick solve that I did that was, okay. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about running. Yesterday was my last long run as I prepare for a race next Sunday. And what does that mean? That means it's time to taper. What does taper mean? Taper means you got to get ready for the race. Now, this is something you do for anything that's a 10K or over. If it's a 10K and below, I mean, on a 10K, you can taper a little bit. You can reduce your mileage a little bit the last week, but it's not as important. 5K, just whatever. Just keep running and go out there and bust it. For anything that's a 10K, above a 10K, you want to taper. What does that mean? Mileage goes down. You got to rest your body. The amount of food you have intake has got to go down. You got to rest. That's got to go up. You got to hydrate. This is an obvious one. That's got to go up this week. You got to focus on rest and hydration. These are two really important things that you got to focus on. Now, if you drink alcohol, try to cut it out a couple of days before the race. You want to be as hydrated as you can. If you drink coffee like I do, you got to kind of stick with that because it's so freaking addictive, and you don't want to go through any kind of withdrawals on that. But don't go crazy. So what else is there about tapering? Most people know those things if you're going to taper for a race. There's a couple other things that I like to do. One is finalize my goals. So I've already set those long before as I'm training. So I know what kind of a pace I want to run, where I want to finish in time, and how I want to do. But the last week, you know more. So now you know you've trained, you've finished your training as best you can. With the effort you've put into it, you know what you're going to be able to run. So I like to finalize my goals, pick something that's realistic so I don't get disappointed. I visualize. So this is really important. Think about the race map. Where is it hard? Where are you going to be tired? Think about water breaks. Are you going to stop and walk through them? Are you going to take 15 to 30 seconds to do that, or are you going to run through them? Do you have any planned breaks in the race to stop and walk for a few seconds to give your body a break? A lot of people are doing that now. Do you want to get Gatorade instead of water? Think through those things. Make sure you know the race course and you know where to do it. Think about where it's going to be hard for you in the race. Is it hard that first mile? Is it hard near the middle when you're kind of trudging through it? Is it hard at the end? Are there any major hills that you need to be prepared for? And visualize how hard it's going to be, how much it's going to hurt, and what you're going to do to push through it. That's really important. Another really important thing is race day prep. So you got to do the morning, think through the morning. How are you going to get to the race? What are you going to do? Are you going to get up earlier so you can eat something, have that cup of coffee, get some water in you, still have time to get to the race, relax, go to the bathroom if you need to, get in line, all those things. How are you going to do all of that? You still got your plan that you just visualized, right? Your race plan that you just visualized. Think through that as well. And then post-race. This is kind of important. I had a friend who got left at the end of a marathon for about 2 hours while he waited for his wife to come pick him up because they didn't set up a meeting point. So this is the kind of thing, how do I get home? What do I do at the end of the race? How am I going to get home? How am I going to get back to where I'm going? Is it up to me? Is somebody meet me? Do we know where we're going to meet? And then there's another thing. What if there's bad weather? So what are you going to wear? I made a huge mistake in one race, a marathon, where it was raining the whole time. It was colder than I thought, and I wore an extra shirt. So heavy. So it was absolutely terrible to have two shirts on. I wished I could take it off, but I had my bib number on that one, so I couldn't take it off and change and go back down to one shirt. So real problem. My shoes were heavier in the rain. I ran a half marathon a couple years ago where it was cold and rainy. Again, seems to be my pattern. And I wore pants, the running pants, and that was just stupid. They got too heavy. They were cold. It was still cold and wet and horrible. So those are the things some of the things you want to think about. What's your plan? If you can throw on a garbage bag just to keep warm at the beginning and throw that off, that's great. If it's a small enough race, you can meet your friends and you can toss them a jacket if you need to. That's great, but run in the bare minimum. All right, so I think there's a ton that we could do to talk about all the stuff that you got to prep before the race begins as you're doing your training in order to be able to taper effectively. But for now, that's it. Next week, I'm thinking about 2 videos. One is a race recap. I'll let you know how painful it was or not. And 2 is cubing together. I think cubing is not an individual sport. It's something you can do with your friends as well. Looking forward to it. Run that cube.